As I was going to the hospital for a vasectomy, I unexpectedly found the school's most popular girl getting a B-scan ultrasound. On her report, it was clearly written, 8 weeks pregnant. She didn't panic, but I did. That's because 8 weeks ago, after getting drunk, I accidentally took a girl's virginity. But the girl didn't say a word and just ran away, holding onto the wall. I didn't even have a chance to take responsibility. Now, standing in front of her, she hasn't even noticed my existence. She's just covering her red lips, looking down and muttering, How? How did I get pregnant with just one time? Excuse me, is this child mine? I asked in shock. Lin Mengyao was startled at first. When she saw my face clearly, a feeling of grievance instantly welled up in her heart, and tears began to well up in her eyes. Seeing this, I panicked. Hey, don't cry! People will think I'm bullying you. You are bullying me. And this child is yours, isn't it? You don't want to take responsibility, she cried. I was stunned. I'm a new dad? And it happened in one shot? Lin Mengyao continued to sob softly. Suddenly, a strange voice sounded in my mind. Congratulations, host. You have activated the Divine Daddy system. There's no need to doubt. The child in front of you is your creation, and it's a boy and a girl. Rewarding the host with a startup fund of 100,000 yuan for parenting, a complete guide to pregnancy knowledge, and a 100% boost to physical attributes. Please check. Right after the strange voice finished, another sound came. Ding dong. I opened my phone and saw a notification. Alipay deposit of 100,000 yuan. Immediately after, the world's most comprehensive pregnancy knowledge suddenly flooded my brain, and an invisible force surged into my body. This seems to be real, I thought, but still couldn't quite believe it. My brows furrowed. Lin Mengyao saw that I hadn't said anything for a while and thought I didn't believe her. She choked out, You don't believe the child is yours? If you don't believe me, we can do a paternity test later. Hearing Lin Mengyao's choked voice, I finally came back to my senses. I took a pack of tissues from my pocket and handed them to her, comforting her. Hey, don't cry, I believe you. I'll take full responsibility. I will see this through to the end. The system had already said it was my child and even predicted it would be twins, so I naturally believed it completely. I looked at the delicate Lin Mengyao and said with deep affection, Mengyao, I will take responsibility. Are you willing to have the baby? Lin Mengyao clasped her hands together, her face blushing. She then smoothed her hair and asked in a soft voice, How are you going to take responsibility? We haven't even graduated yet. We don't have jobs or a stable income. Wifey, don't worry. I've already saved up a lot of money, and I'll work even harder to earn money in the future to give you and the baby a warm and loving home, I said with a determined tone, afraid that Lin Mengyao would refuse. Seeing me say so much in one breath, Lin Mengyao laughed softly. You said it yourself. Then I'm ready to have the baby. She gently caressed her belly, a faint smile on her face. Although she sounded a little aggrieved, she was actually overjoyed. She had liked me since her first year of university. I wasn't only handsome, but also very capable. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been dragged out to drink by her roommate for the first time, gotten drunk, and fallen into my arms. I then took Lin Mengyao out for lunch, and after I walked her back to her dorm. I'm sorry you had to go through all that today. Go back and rest. I'll take you to the hospital for a full checkup tomorrow. Okay. Lin Mengyao agreed immediately, a hint of happiness flashing across her face. I also smiled and hummed a song all the way back to my dorm. In the afternoon, I finished a project I was working on, ahead of schedule, and delivered it. Along with the 100,000 yuan the system had given me, my savings had now grown to over 200,000 yuan. I need to find time to rent a place outside, I thought. It would be inconvenient for Lin Mengyao to live in the dorms while pregnant. Ding dong. The system has detected that the host needs to take the baby for a full checkup. To facilitate the host's travel, a top-of-the-line Xiaomi SU7 has been rewarded and parked in the C-Zone parking lot of Jinhai University. Please check. Holy cow! I couldn't help but curse after the system's message. A Xiaomi SU7? The system is awesome! The next day, when I woke up, I found an extra car key on the table. Without thinking too much, I grabbed the key and went straight to the school parking lot. As soon as I arrived, a purple Xiaomi SU7 immediately came into view. I excitedly got into the driver's seat and drove it directly to Lin Mengyao's dorm. Then I took out my phone and called her. Mengyao, are you awake? I'm waiting for you at your dorm. We'll go for a prenatal checkup. Okay, Wait for me for about 10 minutes. I'll get ready. Lin Mengyao's heart fluttered. The fact that I cared so much about her and the baby in her belly made her incredibly happy. In less than 10 minutes, Lin Mengyao came running down from her dorm. Seeing her, I hurried forward and grabbed her arm. Slow down, baby. Don't fall. Lin Mengyao's face instantly turned bright red again. I stared at her, saying, "You look really good today." Lin Mengyao didn't dare to look me in the eye. She lowered her head and whispered, "HMPH, you smooth talker. Let's go." I then put my arm around her and opened the car door for her, saying gently, "Wifey, please get in." My repeated teasing made Lin Mengyao's face turn completely red. Who's your wifey?" she stuttered. At this moment, her delicate little face was flushed with shyness, as beautiful as a blooming peach blossom. After getting into the driver's seat, Lin Mengyao couldn't help but ask, "Did you just buy this car?" "Yes. Mengyao, you have a driver's license, right?" "Yes, I do," Lin Mengyao nodded. Quote, "Then this car is for you to drive from now on. It will make it easier for you to get around. It's good for both you and the baby." No, it's okay. I'm not good at driving. You drive it." Lin Mengyao gently shook her head. "I have other cars." "It's settled. I'll teach you later," I said, not giving her a chance to refuse. When we arrived at the hospital, I stayed with Lin Mengyao for her prenatal checkup. The report came out quickly, stating that the baby's development was completely normal. As we were about to leave, a figure suddenly appeared in front of us. "Brother Che, what are you doing here?" Zhou Quan was looking at us with a curious expression. Zhou Quan was my roommate, and he just happened to be here for a physical exam. I was surprised to run into him. I pulled Zhu Quan to the side and whispered something to him. Zhu Quan chuckled and then shouted to Lin Mengyao in the distance, "See you later, sister-in-law!" and then quickly disappeared. Lin Mengyao's face turned red. Just as I was about to tease her again, the system's notification sound rang in my head. Ding dong. The system has detected that the host has taken the baby for the first prenatal checkup. Rewarding a king's estate at Golden Bay Mansion, Building 16, Unit 01. Ding dong. The system has detected that the host has gifted the Xiaomi SU7 to Lin Mengyao, rewarding a Maybach S680. It has been parked in the Golden Bay Mansion parking lot. Please check. As expected, I cursed again. Holy crap! This system is insane! My heart was filled with excitement. A Maybach S680 is worth more than 3 million yuan, and a king's estate at Golden Bay Mansion is more than 5 million. My net worth has almost reached 10 million. It seems that, as long as I'm good to Mengyao and the baby, the system will be good to me. Thinking of this, my love for Lin Mengyao deepened even more. I reached out and gently took Lin Mengyao's fair hand, looking at her gently. "Mengyao, let's go." Lin Mengyao was startled by my sudden gesture. Her face flushed, but at the same time, a hint of happiness flashed across it. "Okay, let's go." We then drove back in the Xiaomi SU7. But our destination wasn't Jinhai University. It was a high-end residential complex near the school. "Welcome home, Honorable Golden Bay Mansion owner," a clear voice rang out, startling Lin Mengyao. She rubbed her eyes and was slightly surprised to see the tall buildings in front of her. "Where is this?" I turned my head and explained gently. "This isn't the school. It's Golden Bay Mansion, our future home." "Our future home? You bought a house?" Lin Mengyao's mouth slightly agape, her face filled with disbelief. "Yeah, you're pregnant, and staying in the dorms is definitely not a good idea, so I bought a place. This way, it's easier for me to take care of you." "That must have cost a lot of money. Where did you get so much money?" Lin Mengyao pursed her lips, a little moved, and looked at me affectionately. I naturally couldn't say that the system had given it to me, so I made up an excuse. "So let's find a time to move in, okay?" Lin Mengyao's pretty face instantly turned red. This is cohabitation. Isn't this too fast? Will you show your true colors after we move in together? I'd be like an innocent little bunny with nowhere to run. But when I saw that Lin Mengyao was still so worried and cute, I couldn't help but reach out and gently pinch her soft white cheek. "Wifey, what are you thinking about so intently?" Who's your wifey? We're not even married yet." Lin Mengyao's face flushed even more. She raised her hand and twisted my waist. Quote, "Ouch, ouch! Wifey, be gentle!" I cried out. Lin Mingyao was about to twist harder, but I quickly pleaded. I was wrong, wifey. I won't do it again. Let's go up and see the house. Lin Mingyao pouted and finally let go. But she still felt like something was off. We soon arrived at the top floor. It was a 200 square meter apartment with a new, simple style decor. It had 5 rooms and 2 living rooms, fully furnished. Lin Mingyao walked onto the large balcony and saw the sunset over the river. The gentle June breeze blew across her face, making the scene feel warm and romantic. I couldn't hold back anymore. I walked up behind her and gently wrapped my arms around her. Lin Mingyao was startled at first, but didn't struggle. Instead, her delicate face flushed again. She asked softly, "This house must have cost a lot of money, right?" More than 5 million, I said, savoring her scent. Lin Mingyao gently buried her head in my chest. Wifey, thank you for being willing to have our baby. You've given me a family. I'll do everything I can to protect this family. In that moment of deep emotion, I looked at Lin Mingyao's misty eyes, slowly lowered my head, and moved closer to her tempting, cherry-red lips. Lin Mingyao was flustered, her heart pounding. She closed her eyes, letting me do what I wanted. But just as I was about to enjoy this moment, a phone ringtone interrupted us. Lin Mingyao instantly regained her senses and gently pushed me away. I have to answer a call. It was her mother calling. Lin Mingyao composed herself and quickly answered. Hello, Yao Yao. What have you been up to recently? Mom, I haven't been busy with anything, Lin Mingyao said nervously. Is someone bullying you? Because I was standing so close, I could clearly hear the conversation. Seeing how nervous she was, I couldn't help but laugh. Lin Mingyao glared at me and then twisted my waist again. Yao Yao, have you gotten a boyfriend? Her mom had already guessed what was going on from the sound of a boy's voice nearby. Lin Mingyao's face was completely red. She stammered, Yes. That's good. It's time for you to date in college. What's he like? Bring him home next week if you're free. I'd like to meet him. Okay, that's all. I won't bother you anymore. As soon as her mom hung up, Lin Mingyao gave me a fierce look. It's all your fault! My mom found out! I was shameless. It was going to happen sooner or later. I'm already prepared to have my legs broken. Will you come with me next week? Lin Mingyao's hands were tightly clasped together. Of course I'll go. I stole someone's precious daughter, so of course. I have to go pay a visit in person. We'll start moving in tomorrow, I said gently. Okay, Lin Mingyao said, smiling sweetly. We then went to have lunch. When we got to the parking lot, I led Lin Mingyao away from the Xiaomi SU7. Lin Mingyao was a little confused. I then took out the car key and unlocked the S680. The car started, and the headlights cast a unique beam of light as dazzling as a meteor shower. This Maybach? It's yours? Lin Mingyao's mouth slightly agape, her beautiful eyes wide and blinking. I nodded in agreement, then led her to the passenger side, opened the door for her, and made sure she was comfortable before getting into the driver's seat and heading toward the mall. Because Lin Mingyao loves fish, we went to a grilled fish restaurant in the mall. After lunch, Lin Mingyao was so sleepy. I drove her back to her dorm and returned to my doghouse, as we called it, where I'd been living with my roommates for over 3 years. My brothers! Daddy's home. I kicked open the door and said, grinning. As soon as I walked in, I saw my roommates glaring at me. It's him! He's the one who took the school's most popular girl, Zhou Quan shouted, pointing at me. I instantly understood that Zhu Quan with his big mouth had told everyone to shut them up. I decided to treat them to dinner and a night of online gaming. I led them downstairs and told them to wait there for a moment. They were confused about what I was doing. A few minutes later, a sleek Maybach slowly drove up. I rolled down the window, revealing my handsome face. Get in! Holy cow, you're my sugar daddy, they shouted. Dad, when did you make enough money to buy a car? Take us with you. I made up an excuse, saying that my family had bought it for me to help raise the baby. When my roommates heard this, they were all speechless and didn't say another word. Early the next morning, I drove towards the girls' dorm. I had made plans with Lin Mingyao to move into Golden Bay Mansion today. As I approached the dorm, I saw a familiar figure in the distance. Lin Mingyao was wearing a plain shirt and a denim skirt, looking fresh and pleasant. My wifey looks good in anything, I thought. There was also a girl standing next to her. Her sharp eyes revealed a hint of hostility. I got out of the car and quickly walked over to Lin Mingyao gently taking her hand. I told you to wait until I got here before you came down. I haven't been waiting long, have I? Lin Mengyao's face flushed slightly. No, we just came down. This is my roommate, Liu Yuxin. She insisted on coming along. I immediately understood what was going on. Her best friend was checking me out. I was about to greet her, but she came right up to me and asked angrily, "You're the one who stole our Yao Yao?" "That's right," I said, my face firm. "Yao Yao is with me now. You'll have to get past me first." Liu Yuxin, however, simply grabbed Yao Yao's suitcase and started walking to the car. I followed with a helpless look, holding Lin Mengyao's hand. Since she was already making assumptions, I decided I might as well drive her crazy. Soon, we arrived at Golden Bay Mansion. After parking, we moved all the luggage inside. The next second, the system chimed in again. Ding dong! The system has detected that the host has moved for the first time for the baby. You are rewarded with the 5-star chef skills compendium. Please check. Instantly, all the world's culinary knowledge flooded my brain. I was now a 5-star chef. This skill came at the perfect time. It was almost lunchtime. I decided to show off my new abilities. I turned to Lin Mengyao, who was looking a little flustered. "Wifey, what do you want for lunch? I'll go buy some groceries." "Anything is fine," she said, a hint of happiness on her face. "I'll love anything you make." Liu Yuxin, however, looked at Lin Mengyao with a speechless expression. "I want sweet and sour pork ribs, sliced pork in hot chili oil, milk-braised potatoes, and braised fish," she rattled off. Thankfully, with my new skills, this was no problem. As I was about to leave, a small figure suddenly hugged me from behind. I was enveloped in a faint scent as Lin Mengyao, her head lowered, wrapped her arms tightly around me. "Honey, come back soon," she whispered. "I will, wifey." She let go, her face bright red, and ran back to the room, leaving Liu Yuxin to witness this display of affection. While I was out, Liu Yuxin, sensing something was off, interrogated Lin Mengyao. When she learned the truth that Lin Mengyao was pregnant, she was completely dumbfounded. The most popular and innocent girl in school, who had never even dated, was pregnant. Sometime later, I returned with bags full of groceries. Lin Mengyao hurried to me and reached for the bags. "It's fine, wifey, I got it. Don't worry about a thing." I gently pinched her cheek. "What were you two talking about? Your face is so red." With a pout, she said proudly, "I'm not telling you." I had no choice but to head to the kitchen and start cooking. The system's reward was truly amazing. My hands moved with a practiced, muscle memory efficiency. Soon, the table was filled with delicious, fragrant dishes. Liu Yuxin took a bite of the beef, and her eyes widened. "Wow, this is so good." "You're a 5-star chef. Yao Yao, your life is going to be amazing with a chef around all the time." Lin Mengyao hummed happily. She had no idea I was this good at cooking, and her face was beaming with happiness. Just then, the system chimed again. "Ding dong! Congratulations, host. You have successfully cooked a delicious meal for your wife and babies, rewarding 3 million yuan in cash." When the reward appeared, I couldn't help but curse under my breath again. Holy cow, this system is as incredible as ever. A 3 million yuan reward just like that. After lunch, I had officially passed Liu Yuxin's test, so I drove her back to school. On the way, I learned about Lin Mengyao's family situation. Her father had died in a car accident years ago, and now it was just her and her mother. Because of this, she was very important to her mom. I made a silent vow to do everything in my power to take care of Yao Yao and protect her from any more hardship. After dropping Liu Yuxin off, I went straight back to Golden Bay Mansion. When I entered the house, I found Lin Mengyao asleep on the sofa. She had changed into a white nightgown, revealing her long, beautiful legs. I carefully walked over, knelt down, and looked at the sleeping beauty, thinking about her difficult childhood and the hardships her mother and she had endured. My heart ached. "I will be a good husband," I promised silently. Lin Mengyao seemed to hear me and let out a soft sound. I gently scooped her up and carried her to the master bedroom. When she woke up, it was around 5 p.m. Pregnant women are very sleepy. She looked around, not seeing me, and quietly came to my room. She found me working on my laptop. She peeked her head out from behind me, startling me, then wrapped her arms around my neck and said in a sweet voice, "Honey, hug me." I gently pulled her into my lap. A unique, light scent emanated from her, not strong, but long-lasting, like the peaceful air of a secluded valley. Without realizing it, I closed my eyes, my lips slowly approaching her sweet, soft ones. I gently kissed her. Honey, stop, Lin Mengyao said, trying to resist, but I held her tight. She had no choice but to give in and enjoy the moment. After an afternoon of sweet affection, I decided to take Lin Mengyao to the mall that evening to buy some essentials for the baby. As soon as we entered, I led her to a maternity clothing store. Lin Mengyao looked confused. Why are we here? What do we need to buy? I teased her. Well, I'm worried your big white bunnies won't have a place to go later. She realized my eyes were greedily staring at her chest. Her face instantly turned red, and she pinched my side. Ow, 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 wifey, it's just that I'm worried it'll affect the quality of the milk later. Your chest will start to get bigger after 3 months of pregnancy. HMPH, you have a dirty mouth, she said, her face flushing even more. Even though my knowledge of pregnancy was correct, it sounded strange coming from me. How do you even know all this? She asked, a little curious. Despite still pinching my waist, she was happy. I smiled and said, Wifey, I've done all my homework for you and the babies. You have to reward me for all my hard work. Lin Mengyao's eyes twinkled. She whispered, Bend down, I have something to tell you. What is it? I asked, lowering my head obediently. She stood on her tiptoes and kissed my cheek. I was about to counterattack, but she quickly stepped away and ran into the store. I smiled, still savoring the moment, already imagining our sweet life together after the babies were born. Lin Mengyao picked out a few maternity outfits and went into the dressing room to try them on. I saw a jewelry store across the way, so I quickly ran over. A beautiful saleswoman greeted me. Before she could say welcome, I asked, Do you have any diamond rings you can recommend? She was surprised and, seeing that I was a college student, showed me some lower-priced rings. I shook my head. Something higher quality, please. My budget is around 500,000 yuan. With the help of the system, I naturally went for the expensive one. After all, this was for my wife, and I knew the system would reward me with even more. The saleswoman was shocked. Her monthly salary was only a few thousand yuan. She quickly found me a nice ring for exactly 500,000 yuan. After paying, I hurried back to the maternity store, acting like nothing happened. How do I look, Jiang Che? Lin Mengyao asked, spinning around as she came out of the dressing room. I thought to myself, this is a freebie, I said with a satisfied look. You look great, wifey. You look good in everything. That's not helpful, she said, pouting, but she was very happy inside. After looking at herself in the mirror, she decided to buy the outfit. After buying the clothes, we drove back to Golden Bay Mansion. It was already 10 p.m., and Lin Mengyao was exhausted. She yawned and said, I'm going to take a shower and go to bed. Good night. I felt a little disappointed and leaned in. No goodnight kiss, wifey? No. No more. We already kissed today. Lin Mengyao's face flushed. She quickly turned and walked back to the room. Then I'll get one tomorrow. We'll see about tomorrow. Lin Mengyao gently closed the door to her room, and as the door clicked shut, the system chimed. Ding dong. Congratulations, host. You have successfully accompanied Lin Mengyao to buy maternity clothes. You are rewarded with a luxury shop at Golden Bay Plaza. By now, I was used to this and didn't curse, but I was still excited. A luxury shop at Golden Bay Plaza was worth at least 8 million yuan. For the next 2 days, we didn't go to school. We just lived a sweet, carefree life together. Lin Mengyao would lie lazily on a chair watching the shimmering river while I fed her. That night, a storm raged outside. Thunder boomed, and lightning flashed across the sky. Lin Mengyao, who was sound asleep, was startled awake by a loud thunderclap. She huddled into a ball, trembling with fear. She had been afraid of thunderstorms since she was a child, and now, being pregnant, her fear was even stronger. Meanwhile, I was about to fall asleep when my phone rang. Who's texting me in the middle of the night? I wondered, reluctantly checking my phone. It was Lin Menyao's contact, which I had set to vibrate. Jiang Che, can you come over? She had texted. She continued to huddle under the covers. In the past, she would have endured it, but now that she had a husband, she knew she could rely on me. Seeing the message, I was suddenly wide awake and filled with excitement. I scurried to her room, knocked gently, and then opened the door. Wifey, I'm coming in. Hearing my voice, Lin Mengyao quickly jumped out of bed and into my arms, wrapping her arms tightly around my neck. I gently stroked her hair. "I'm sorry. I didn't know you were afraid of thunder." I felt a pang of heartache seeing her trembling in my arms, and I wasn't sure what to do. "Let's sleep together," she said, her face turned a faint red. "You've got to be kidding me," I thought. Without a word, I carried her back to bed and lay down next to her, holding her tightly to make her feel safe. But her body temperature started to rise, and I realized she was blushing. "This isn't the first time I've held you while you slept. Why are you so shy?" I teased. Lin Mengyao was even more embarrassed. She buried her face in the blanket. "That was the time I got pregnant, you jerk. You're still teasing me?" She was getting angry and tried to pinch my waist again, but my abs were too hard, and she ended up hurting her hand. Seeing her teary-eyed, I quickly apologized. Okay, wifey, I was wrong. I won't tease you anymore. I just wanted to calm you down. You've cried enough today, and it's not good for the baby." I held her gently. She tried to resist, but she was no match for my strength. She murmured to herself, "Stinky Jiang Che, bad Jiang Che," over and over again until she finally fell asleep. But I wasn't so lucky. I looked down at the girl in my arms. Her skin as fair as snow. As I started to get a physiological reaction, I quickly looked away, but she was still there, sound asleep. Her mouth was slightly open, and a gentle scent emanated from her. One of her long legs was draped over me. She tormented me all night long, and I didn't fall asleep until the early morning. The next morning, the sound of a phone ringing woke Lin Mengyao up. Still half asleep, she answered it. "Hello," she said in a soft, sleepy voice. On the other end, my mother was shocked and frozen. "What's going on?" I called my son, but a woman answered. "Who are you? Where is my son, Jiang Che?" she asked anxiously. "Jiang Che? He's sleeping next to me," Lin Mengyao said. She then threw the phone onto my chest and went back to sleep. I, however, was so exhausted from being tormented by Lin Mengyao all night that I was sleeping like a pig and couldn't hear a thing. I didn't wake up until noon. I slowly opened my eyes, feeling alive again. I looked at Lin Mengyao, who was still holding me tightly. Her tempting cherry-red lips made me want to take a bite. I was entranced. Just as I was about to lean in and kiss her, she slowly opened her eyes. When she saw my face so close to hers, she instantly became alert. "What are you doing?" she asked softly. I said guiltily, I just wanted to get a closer look at your beautiful face." She looked at my lecherous eyes, and then down at her own cleavage. Her face instantly turned bright red. "Pervert! Licker!" she shouted. She quickly pulled away and hid her head under the blankets, too shy to come out. I just smiled to myself. My wifey is so gentle when she scolds me. I want to make her mine right now, I thought. Just then, the phone rang again. My mom was calling again. I answered without a second thought. "Hey, Mom, what's up? Why are you calling so early?" "You little rascal, where are you?" she demanded. I looked at the girl in my arms and lied. "I'm in my dorm." "In your dorm? Then why did a girl answer my call?" "Did you sneak into the girls' dorm at night?" my mom asked angrily. I was confused. I quickly checked my phone and saw a few missed calls from my mom, the first one being answered. I looked at my phone, then at Lin Mengyao. I lowered my voice. "Mom, I'll explain later," and I hung up. On the other end, my mom was fuming. "That little rascal, he hung up on me. I'm so mad." She turned to my dad, who was playing on his phone. "Old Lin, if you have nothing else to do, go wash the vegetables." After I hung up, I quietly tiptoed out of the room. After listening to the call recording, I realized things were not good. I quickly called my mom back. Before she could say anything, I said, "Mom, you need to be mentally prepared before I tell you what's going on." My mom was speechless. She was already imagining me getting a foot massage last night. "You little rascal, just tell me. I heard everything." "It's nothing, Mom. It's just, you're gonna be a grandma." "That's good. That's fine. Wait, what?" My mom was so shocked she nearly jumped out of her skin. Then she launched into a furious tirade. The more she thought about it, the angrier she got. How could the son she raised do something like this, getting a young girl pregnant before she was married? It was completely out of line. Even though she was retired and did want grandchildren, she didn't expect to become a grandmother so suddenly. No one could handle this. She had to see the situation for herself. After hanging up, my mom immediately told my dad. My dad's veins bulged on his forehead as he fumed. He decided to grab his Seven Wolves brand belt to deal with me. My parents began tearing through the house, packing their bags, and preparing to fly over to give me a proper belt whipping. Meanwhile, I was pacing back and forth in the living room, a nervous wreck. I'm done for. I'm going to get a beating this afternoon. Just then, Lin Mengyao opened her door and came out. Seeing my frantic state, she looked at me, confused. "Jiangche, what are you doing?" "Wifey, you're awake." I was so relieved to see her. "Are you hungry? I'll make you some breakfast." I rubbed her cheek, and half of my anxiety melted away. Soon, a delicious bowl of mushroom and lean pork congee was ready. Seeing her happily eating, I felt happy too. The rice was already cooked. The worst that could happen was a couple of beatings. I'd still be a fine man in 20 years. While she was eating, I decided to tell her what happened. She froze, her eyes wide, her mouth agape. She looked shocked and unsure of what to do. I gently pulled her into a hug. "Don't be scared, wifey. This was bound to happen eventually. My parents are really nice. They'll be so happy to have such a beautiful daughter-in-law." Lin Mengyao frowned. "I'm still a little nervous. What if your parents think I'm easy?" I explained my mom's feelings and told her that my parents were coming to deal with me this afternoon. Lin Mengyao's lips curled into a slight smile and she seemed less nervous. "So, how do your parents beat you?" she asked curiously. I explained, humiliated. "My dad has a family heirloom belt, and my mom has a family heirloom clothes hanger. They tag team me. My dad beats me, then my mom comforts me. Next time, my mom beats me, and my dad comforts me. They work together." Lin Mengyao laughed. "You must have been a very naughty boy. And you were still trying to be a pervert with me just now?" "Honey," I said shamelessly, "is it being a pervert to kiss your own wife?" Her face turned bright red. I'm not yet. We're not married." She raised her hand and playfully hit my chest. We then started fantasizing about our sweet life after we were married. I continued to tease her until she was flushed from head to toe. She couldn't take it anymore and used a nap as an excuse to escape. "I'm tired. I'm going to sleep." "You lazy little thing," I said, picking her up in a Princess Carrie and walking to the bedroom. She bit my arm to vent her frustration. Ow, stop. I'm sorry." After putting her in the room, I looked at the cute teeth marks on my arm and smiled happily. Soon, the afternoon arrived. The inevitable had come. My parents arrived in front of Golden Bay Mansion. They were shocked by the building. The gap between their neighborhood and this one was not small. That rascal rented such an expensive place. "That's one more reason to beat him," my mom said. She angrily called me and told me to come down. "I'm coming," I said helplessly. I really didn't want to, but I had to. I quickly put on my shoes and ran to the entrance to greet them. Soon, I saw two familiar figures with angry looks on their faces. "Mom and Dad, you're here. Ow, stop pulling my ear." As soon as they saw me, my mom grabbed my ear. Everyone around us was staring, which made me incredibly embarrassed. I gave my dad a pleading look, but he looked away and started playing on his phone. I was filled with despair. After the warm-up, I led them upstairs and explained the whole situation. I tried to explain what had happened, but my mom wasn't interested. "Where's my daughter-in-law?" she asked impatiently. I was speechless. Mengyao is sleeping in the room. She should be waking up soon. Seeing that her future daughter-in-law was still asleep, my mom ordered me to go to the kitchen and make some chicken soup. I had no choice but to follow orders. Soon, the entire room was filled with the rich aroma of chicken soup. Lin Mengyao woke up and, smelling the delicious scent, came out to the living room. "Jiangche, did you make chicken soup? It smells so good," she said. As soon as she finished her sentence, she saw my dad looking at her with a gentle expression. Her happy expression instantly turned into a shy one, and she ran back to the room. My mom saw her run away and punched my dad. "Look at your stupid grinning face. You scared her away." My dad was a little upset, but didn't dare to argue. He would just take his anger out on me later. When I heard Lin Mengyao's voice, I put down what I was doing and walked out of the kitchen. I didn't see Lin Mengyao, only my dad looking at my mom with a wronged expression. I immediately understood what had happened. I walked into Lin Mengyao's room and closed the door. She had changed into a light purple dress with a little makeup, which made her look fresh and charming. "I was still sleepy and forgot your parents were coming. Do you think they'll like this outfit?" Lin Mengyao asked, a little nervous. I gently held her hand. There's no parent in the world who wouldn't like a fairy like you. Oh, you say the best things. Lin Mengyao's eyes twinkled. I then led her out of the room. I walked in front and she followed closely behind me. We introduced ourselves and my mom greeted her warmly. My mom pushed me aside and sat down with Lin Mengyao, and the two of them started chatting. Seeing that Lin Mengyao was still a little shy, my mom thought it might be because my dad was there. She gave him a look. Old Lin, don't you have something to talk about with your beloved son? Go outside and talk. After we left, my mom apologized to Lin Mengyao for my mistake. She then took out a beautiful sapphire bracelet and tried to put it on Lin Mengyao. Lin Mengyao tried to refuse, but my mom was firm. Take it. This is what that rascal owes you. Don't worry, if he ever treats you badly, just tell me. I'll teach him a lesson. When Lin Mengyao heard the words, teach him a lesson, her face changed dramatically. She quickly ran out the door and saw my dad getting ready to whip me with his belt. I was standing there, ready to take my punishment. Lin Mengyao rushed over and hugged me tightly. Uncle, please don't hit Jiang Che. It wasn't his fault. It was an accident. Jiang Che has been taking such good care of me and taking responsibility. I really like him. I was surprised that the usually timid Lin Mengyao was being so brave for me. My dad sighed and looked at me. I immediately understood what he was thinking. I looked at Lin Mengyao and said firmly, Mengyao, I will take responsibility and spend my life with you and take care of you. Then I believe you, Lin Mengyao said, lowering her head shyly. My mom then came out to smooth things over and pulled Lin Mengyao inside for dinner. I went back to the kitchen to fry a few more dishes. After dinner, I took Lin Mengyao out for a walk. When we got back, she was tired and went to bed early. After she went to her room, my mom pulled me inside and gave me a bank card. This is 1 million yuan that your dad and I saved up to help you marry your wife. Take it. I said proudly. Mom, you don't need to. I already have a house. This place is what I bought. My mom was surprised at first. Then she slapped me on the head. I made up some excuse about an investment to cover my tracks. My mom then gave me some advice, and since it was already 10 p.m., I went to my room to rest. As soon as I opened the door, I saw a beautiful figure lying on the bed. It was definitely Lin Mengyao. I didn't think much of it. We had slept together before. I quietly climbed into bed next to her. Just as I was about to make a move, Lin Mengyao turned over and wrapped her arms around me. Seeing her pretending to be asleep, I chuckled. Wifey, are you asleep? I gently pinched her cheek, but she didn't say anything. I decided to try something else. Since my wife is already asleep, I guess I can do something a little naughty, and she won't notice, right? I said to myself, slowly leaning in. This time, I wasn't going for her cheek. I was going for her beautiful, tempting lips. When Lin Mengyao felt my breath on her, she couldn't help but react. She raised her hand and pinched my side. HMPH, you big pervert! She turned over, not wanting to look at me anymore. I smiled and hugged her from behind. Wifey, why did you come to my room tonight? Her face was bright red. This is my room! You're the one who came to the wrong room! Knowing how shy she was, I said affectionately, Okay, I came to the wrong room. I'll always come to the wrong room from now on. She couldn't take it anymore and turned back around, playfully hitting my chest with her fists. Stop talking. Okay, I won't, I said, pulling her into my arms. She yawned, clearly exhausted. She then quickly kissed my cheek. You big dummy! Good night. She turned over and went to sleep. She was the one who teased and then ran away. I couldn't do anything about it. If she wasn't pregnant, I would have already had my way with her. I shook the thought from my head. I'll have plenty of chances to deal with you later, I whispered. I held her and slowly drifted off to sleep. On the way to the airport, I was driving, while my mom whispered things into Lin Mengyao's ear. They were laughing and talking the whole time. I was dying to know what my mom had said. When we got back, I tried to get the information out of her, but she just smiled. I'm not telling you, she said. I couldn't get her to crack with my soft approach, so I decided to be a little tougher. I put on a serious face, lifted her chin, and looked into her eyes. Tell me, or I'll use force. But Lin Mengyao knew all my tricks. She looked at me with a half smile. Quote, I'm not telling. What are you going to do about it? Oh, a feisty one, aren't we? I said. I picked her up in a princess carry and started walking to the bedroom. What are you doing? Put me down, she said, a little panicked. She kicked her legs in protest, but I didn't let go. I carried her to the room and gently placed her on the bed. Then, I didn't do anything else. I just leaned down and kissed her forehead. "Wifey, take a nap. We'll go to the mall when you wake up," I said softly. The kiss made her so shy that she buried her face in the blanket. "Okay," she said softly. When she woke up, it was almost evening. We went to Golden Bay Plaza to buy some gifts for her mother. I bought everything: high-end health products, bags for middle-aged women, and gold and silver jewelry. I kept buying more and more. Lin Mengyao finally grabbed my hand. "Jiang-che, stop! That's enough!" But I didn't think so. Since it was the first time I was meeting my mother-in-law, I had to show her my financial strength. Seeing that I wasn't listening, she puffed out her cheeks like a pufferfish. "If you buy one more thing, I'll be mad." "I'll stop, but only if you kiss me," I said shamelessly. "You teased me yesterday and ran away." Her face instantly turned red. "We'll do it when we get back. There are too many people here," she said, looking away. I then remembered that the system had given me a shop here yesterday. I took her hand and walked to an empty storefront. There was no one inside. I turned to her. "No one's here now. You can kiss me." Before she could say anything, I wrapped my arms around her waist, leaned down, and kissed her, sucking in her sweet scent. Lin Mengyao resisted at first, but quickly gave in and enjoyed the moment. We were being affectionate for a while when someone walked by the storefront. Lin Mengyao quickly broke free, her face red, and ran to the bathroom. I watched her go, finding her shyness incredibly cute. When she came out, we drove home. I immediately went to the kitchen and started making a feast, afraid that she was hungry. Half an hour later, I brought out 2 bowls of chicken and mushroom clay pot rice, steamed fish, and a tomato and egg soup. "Wifey, dinner's ready," I called out. Lin Mengyao hurried to me and hugged me. "Honey, you worked so hard," she said softly. We held each other for a bit before we finally started to eat. I felt incredibly happy watching her eat with such gusto. After we finished and cleaned up, she pulled me into the bedroom. She used me as a pillow and lay in my arms, scrolling on her phone. I looked down, and a large expanse of white skin came into view. I was getting flustered and tried to change the subject. "Wifey, do you think we should buy some bird's nest and stuff tomorrow?" "No, that's enough. My mom doesn't care about that stuff," she said, rubbing her face against my arm and smiling. "Are you nervous?" I swallowed hard. "Of course I am. I'm honestly scared that your mom will kick me out and maybe even break my 3rd leg." I shivered, thinking about how I would react if my daughter were in the same situation. I would be merciless. Lin Mengyao saw my nervous state and laughed. "Don't worry, my mom is very gentle, and I'll help you. Don't be scared. Go to sleep." She then turned her back to me, wanting to sleep, but I couldn't let that happen. He gently pulled her back into his arms. He quickly kissed her lips for 2.5 seconds before letting go. She turned away, her face flushed. This time, I didn't pull her back, I just held her from behind as we both fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, we got ready to leave for Jingshui City. It was a 4-hour drive, and Lin Mengyao told me stories about her city the whole way. When she talked about her hometown, her eyes sparkled with joy and she spoke nonstop. I listened quietly while I drove. Perhaps she was tired of talking, and she fell asleep peacefully in her seat. 4 hours passed quickly. I gently pinched her soft cheek. "Wifey, we're here," I said. She rubbed her eyes sleepily, looking a little dazed. She then called her mom on her phone. After hanging up, I followed Lin Mengyao's directions, and we soon arrived at her house. Her home was a standard 140 square meter apartment, neither too big nor too small. It was on the 8th floor, so it was a bit tiring to climb the stairs. We carried 2 large bags of gifts up to the 8th floor. When she saw the familiar door, she excitedly took out her key and opened it. "Mom, we're home!" A beautiful, kind-faced, middle-aged woman greeted us. Lin Mengyao rushed to hug her mom. "It's good that you're back," her mom said, stroking her head and teasingly asking, "Yao Yao, have you gained some weight recently?" Lin Menyao's face turned red. No," she said softly. Her mom didn't know about the pregnancy, and Lin Mengyao couldn't bring herself to say it. A moment later, her mom looked at me with a gentle gaze. I was a little nervous and quickly introduced myself. "Hello, Auntie. I'm Lin Mengyao's boyfriend, Jiang-che. It's nice to meet you. This is a gift for you." I handed her the 2 large bags. Her mom took them with a smile. "You didn't have to bring anything. Don't do this next time," Come on in. Even though the house was a little old, it was very tidy, giving off a comfortable and peaceful feeling. Her mom then led us to the dining table. During dinner, her mom started to pry. I was afraid that if I told the truth, I would be kicked out before the meal was over. So I lied and said that we fell in love at first sight. I then took out the expensive health products and jewelry to show her mom my sincere feelings for Lin Mengyao. Her mom looked at the gifts. "Xiaoche, why did you buy so many expensive things? I can't accept all of this." She then looked at her daughter's nervous face and knew they were hiding something. She turned to me. "Is there something you want to tell me?" I hesitated but finally spoke. "Mom, there's something I need to tell you." Her mom looked at her nervous daughter gently. "Go ahead. I'm listening." "Mom, I'm pregnant," Lin Mengyao said. Her mom's eyes widened in shock and confusion. She thought her daughter was joking. Lin Mengyao then looked down guiltily. "Mom, I'm sorry." Before Lin Mengyao could explain, I stood up. "Auntie, it's all my fault. Please don't worry. I will take good care of Mengyao. If you're still mad, you can beat me. I'll take any punishment you give me." Her mom closed her eyes and frowned. Although it was a done deal, she still couldn't accept that her daughter, whom she had raised so carefully, was pregnant. After a moment, she slowly opened her eyes, a hint of anger in them. She took Lin Mengyao into the room and closed the door. Lin Mengyao sat next to her mom and confessed everything while her mom held her hands. After hearing the story, even though her daughter was the one who was irresponsible, her mom was still angry. She then asked, "Did he propose to you?" Lin Mengyao's face turned red. "He said that if you agreed, we would get married." "It seems you still respect your elders," her mom said, and her opinion of me improved a little. Meanwhile, I was sitting in the living room, sweating nervously. My mind was racing with all the possible outcomes. When I saw the two of them come out laughing, I was relieved. Her mom sat across from me, and her gaze had changed. She asked me in a gentle tone about my plans for the future. I answered truthfully, saying that once she agreed, we would hold a grand wedding. I also told her about my current situation. I'm an investor, and I have a car and a house near her school. I took out the deeds to prove it. Her mom was surprised to see both my name and Lin Mengyao's name on the deed. And her opinion of me improved even more. I then stood up. "Auntie, please trust me with your daughter. I will take good care of Mengyao." Lin Mengyao stood up as well, holding my hand and looking at her mom with a firm expression. Her mom shook her head helplessly. My heart sank. Was she not going to agree? Lin Mengyao saw her mom shake her head, and her eyes welled up with tears. She was about to plead with her mom when her mom suddenly smiled. "The rice is already cooked, and if you two love each other, how could I disagree? I just didn't expect to be a grandma so soon." Lin Mengyao's eyes instantly filled with tears. She hugged her mom and cried as if she were about to get married and move far away. After she composed herself, the three of us sat together and chatted. This time, the atmosphere was much more relaxed. Lin Mengyao started to get sleepy and asked her mom if she had prepared a room for me. Her mom looked at her silly daughter and laughed. "Jiang Che will sleep with you in your room." Lin Mengyao was shocked. "Mom, how could you?" But she was also a little excited. She shyly pulled me into her room. As soon as we were in the room, I changed into my pajamas and lay down on the bed. Lin Mengyao turned her head, flushed. I teased her. "Wifey, now that Auntie has agreed, shouldn't you call me honey?" Not yet, we're not married," she said, her face red. "I'm going to change. Turn around." I grinned and stared at her chest. "Call me honey, and I'll turn around," she said, with a hint of shame. You're a pervert." She gave me a glare. "HMPH!" I happily turned around, a mischievous grin on my face. When she saw me turn, she quickly changed into a cute milky white pajama set. She turned around and saw me pretending to look at my phone, a smile on my face. Her face turned red. She bit her lip and said, You were peeking." "No, I wasn't," I said, playing dumb. "I was looking at my phone the whole time." "When did you change? By the way, what color was your underwear?" "Pink! You were peeking!" Lin Mengyao's face was as red as a ripe apple. She climbed onto the bed, sat on me, and playfully hit my chest with her fists. "You stinky Jiang Che, you pervert, you big pervert." "Wifey, I'm sorry," ha ha ha, I said with a laugh. But inside, I was enjoying her adorable display of anger. After a little while, she was tired and lay down on the other side of the bed, far away from me. but I wouldn't have it. I pulled her into my arms, ready to fall asleep. Just then, the system beeped. Congratulations, host. You have passed your mother-in-law's test. Reward: a set of luxury apartments in Shidai Garden in Jingshui City. The next day, I was still a little reserved since I was at my mother-in-law's house. It wasn't until after dinner, when I took Lin Mengyao out for a walk, that I could finally breathe. We held hands and walked to a nearby park. This park is nice. It feels so cozy, I said. Cozy? She said, confused. But what? I said, pulling her into my arms. We should do something that fits the atmosphere. The surroundings were quiet. Lin Mengyao looked down shyly. Her lips were so tempting. I lifted her chin and told her to look at me. Call me honey. Honey, she said softly. I couldn't take it anymore. I slowly leaned in and our lips met. I sucked hard on her lips and my hands started to wander. Just as things were getting heated, a soft meow came from my feet. Lin Mengyao broke free from my embrace, and my chance was gone. I looked down and saw a fat tabby cat. I was a little annoyed. The cat was happily rubbing against Lin Mengyao's legs, enjoying her petting. I was a little jealous and thought that this cat must be a homie in disguise. I squatted down to pet it, but it quickly dodged me and meowed in protest. You're not familiar with it, so it won't let you touch it. Lin Mengyao explained. I was speechless. I pulled her and said we should go home. At home, I hugged her while we watched videos. I then remembered the luxury apartment I got last night. Wifey, I'm taking you somewhere tomorrow, I said. She blinked her eyes. Where? This is my hometown. I should be the one taking you places. She thought for a moment, then wrapped her arms around my waist, puffed out her cheeks, and said, Are you hiding something from me again? I smiled. I am, but it's a good thing. Tell me, honey, I want to know, she whined, rubbing her face against me. Seeing that I wasn't reacting, she pouted. HMPH, if you don't tell me, I'm not talking to you. I knew I had her hooked. I grinned. Okay, I'll tell you, but you have to kiss me. She hesitated for a moment. Oh, okay, you can kiss me, she whispered. Seeing her so cooperative, I gently lifted her chin and went for her lips. She was expecting a kiss on the cheek. Her mind went blank and her face flushed as her eyes widened. She then closed them shyly. I tested the waters with my tongue, and her lips parted. After a long time, we finally separated, and she gasped for air. Her face was a beautiful red. I looked closely and saw a thin, shiny thread connecting our lips. I then took a tissue and wiped our mouths. Wifey, your lips are so sweet. I love it. We should kiss more often, I said, pinching her cheek. She was too shy to look up. Quote, Why did you suddenly kiss me with your tongue? She asked, her voice a little hoarse. I said shamelessly, You told me to kiss you. She bit my arm in protest. She didn't say I could kiss her with my tongue. She was so angry that she pinched my side. Ow, wifey, I'm sorry. After a few pinches, she finally relented. I looked at her flushed face and knew she wasn't mad anymore. I pulled her back into my arms and put my hand on her soft chest. It's getting late, wifey. Time to sleep. She said softly, and we fell into a deep sleep. We woke up at noon, after a night of cuddling. During lunch, she suddenly remembered what happened last night, and her face turned red again. She then realized something. Why was I so good at this? Why did I use my tongue right away? She looked at me, her face flushed. Wifey, what's wrong? I asked. She pouted. A moment later, she looked at me again. She couldn't help but ask, Why are you so skilled? I was a little taken aback. I hadn't expected her to ask that. Boys are born with this kind of talent. You just figure it out as you go, I said. She wasn't convinced. She bit her lip and asked, Was that your first kiss? I felt a sense of crisis. I quickly picked her up and sat her on my lap. What are you doing? Tell me, she said, angrily hitting my chest. I gently pinched her nose and smiled. Of course it was. Last night was my first kiss. Lin Mengyao was shy but happy. She immediately covered her blushing face with her hair. She had to be teased like that before she believed me. Women were strange creatures. After breakfast, I took her to Shidai Garden. She was confused. Why would I take her somewhere in her hometown? We soon arrived. After parking, I held her hand and walked to the gate. The gate of Shidai Garden was grand and imposing, like a luxurious archway. Lin Mengyao seemed to have realized something and asked, Hey, honey, did you buy something again? I smiled. No, These are things I should have bought. Even if it was, I don't want my future mother-in-law to have to climb stairs every day. Plus, it's close to her work, so she won't have to take the bus every morning. Lin Mengyao was touched. She hugged me tightly and looked at me with stars in her eyes. Thank you, honey. Seeing my chance, I wrapped my arms around her waist and kissed her cheek. She was surprised and her face turned red. We are outside, she said softly. I was waiting for her to say that. So, it's okay inside? I asked with a playful smile. She realized she had fallen into my trap and playfully hit my chest. Stop teasing me, let's go inside and look around. I then called the manager of Shidai Garden. A young man with a smile on his face quickly came over. He led us to the building and we went to the balcony. We looked out at the entire garden. This was the perfect moment to do something. Wifey, what do you think? I asked, looking at her. She smiled happily and rubbed her face against me. It's beautiful. My mom will love it. The manager was very perceptive. He sent me a text and quietly left. This meant I could do some naughty things with my wife. After a little while, it was getting late. I took the flushed Lin Mengyao to the nearby mall to pick up her mom. Her mom worked at Hepping Mall. It was just after work. She was walking with her colleague, Chen Li, preparing to take the bus home. Chen Li was always trying to set her son up with Lin Mengyao, but my mom had always politely refused. Now that her daughter was pregnant and she had such a great future son-in-law, she was even more willing to refuse. I'm telling you, it's hard to find a good job now. My son works at a state-owned enterprise. Everyone wants to get in, Chen Li said proudly. Just then, a sleek black Maybach pulled up in front of them. Lin Mengyao peeked her head out. Mom, I'm here to pick you up. Her mom was shocked. She didn't know much about cars, but she could tell the difference between a normal car and a luxury car. I also leaned out and said with a smile, Auntie, please get in. We've already bought the ingredients for dinner. Maybe I'll show off my skills for Auntie to try. At this moment, Lin Mengyao noticed Chen Li beside her. Auntie Chen, are you going back too? We can take you. Seeing this, Chen Li awkwardly smiled and said, No, it's all right. My son will come pick me up later. You two go on ahead. Haha, as for Lin Mu, she was worried about how to make Chen Li give up on her daughter. And the opportunity just presented itself. She turned her head and said, This is my son-in-law. I'll be heading back now. After returning home, you went straight into the kitchen to start cooking, not letting your mother-in-law come in. Soon, you had a table full of dishes, steamed turbot, mushroom and scallop soup, stir-fried beef with scallions, and steamed spare ribs with garlic. Since Lin Mengyao loves fish, there's always a fish dish in every meal. While eating, you brought up the matter of the house in Shidai Garden, asking her to move there after a while. After hearing this, Lin Mu's heart skipped a beat. She asked in disbelief, Jung Che, are you serious? You nodded earnestly. Lin Mu then frowned and thought for a moment before saying, How much would that cost? This house is a bit old, but it's still livable. Jung Che listened to Auntie's words and decided to return the house. Older generations are all like this. Then you gave Lin Mengyao a look, and with the two of you working together, Lin Mu finally agreed. After tidying up a bit, you two went back to the room for some more sweet time. After getting tired from all the fun, you both fell asleep. At 2 p.m., you woke up and saw Lin Mengyao still sound asleep in your arms. You couldn't bear to wake this sleeping beauty, so you tiptoed out of the room. After a quick tidy-up, you drove your Maybach to a few famous interior design companies nearby to quickly get the new house ready. You don't know how much time passed before Lin Mengyao finally woke up. Her small hands kept patting the area around her on the bed, as if she was looking for something. Where's my husband? She patted all around but couldn't find him. Lin Mengyao rubbed her eyes and struggled to get out of the room. After searching the entire house and not finding any sign of you, she immediately took out her phone and sent you a message, Hubby, are you there? And attached an angry rabbit emoji. Upon hearing the special ringtone, you quickly opened your phone and quietly replied, Wifey, are you awake? Before you could even finish typing, Lin Mengyao called you directly. The first thing she did was pout and ask, Why didn't you wake me up? You could tell she was a little upset. So you quickly explained, I saw you were sleeping so soundly that I couldn't bear to wake you. I'm looking for a design company. Upon hearing this, Lin Mengyao's lips curled up, and she replied longingly, Then come back early, hubby. I miss you. After hearing this, the little mischievous thoughts in your heart started to run wild again. This little girl misses you, after only a few hours apart. Then you saluted your phone like a soldier. Yes, my dear wifey, I'm on my way back. After that, Lin Mengyao hung up the phone, her little face flushed. Wifey is wifey, why add, dear? She thought. Hubby has been working hard all afternoon. He must be hungry when he gets back. I'll make dinner tonight and let him taste my cooking. Then Lin Mengyao found ingredients in the refrigerator and started getting busy in the kitchen. At first, she didn't feel anything unusual, but halfway through, a wave of nausea hit her. Lin Mengyao covered her mouth and rushed to the bathroom, where she began to vomit violently. After a long time, Lin Mengyao came out of the bathroom with a pale face. She took a small glass and drank some hot water, gradually recovering. She never thought morning sickness would be like this for the first time. Just then, the door opened and you returned with Lin Mu. When Lin Mengyao saw you, she rushed up to you and threw herself into your arms, her voice a little hoarse as she said, Hubby, you've worked hard. Welcome home. When you heard her voice, you knew something was wrong. It sounded like she had been crying. You looked at your wife in your arms, her eyes red with faint tear marks. Sensing something was wrong, you asked with concern, Wifey, what's wrong? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have left you home alone. I'll never do it again. You then picked up Lin Mengyao and gently placed her on the sofa. Lin Mengyao snuggled into your arms and quietly explained what had just happened. After listening, you realized it was a false alarm. You took a tissue and wiped the tears from Lin Mengyao's eyes. But when you thought of Lin Mengyao vomiting in the bathroom, your heart ached. The first 3 months are a high-frequency period for pregnant women to experience morning sickness. You had always told her not to go into the kitchen, but it happened anyway. You gently rubbed her little face and said, From now on, don't go into the kitchen. I'll do all the housework, okay? Lin Mengyao nestled in your arms, and the discomfort from the morning sickness dissipated, revealing a happy smile. Okay. After dinner, Lin Mengyao dragged you for a walk by the river. Holding Lin Mengyao's small hand, you two strolled leisurely along the riverbank. The riverbank of Jingshui River was bustling with people, and the streets were filled with smiling faces, full of life. Life here is so pleasant, you couldn't help but exclaim. Yeah, she replied. I used to play here all the time when I was little. I remember there was a kind old man selling candied hawthorn. Lin Mengyao kept reminiscing about her childhood memories, and you just listened quietly to her stories. Soon, you passed by an ice cream shop with a long line of people. You wanted to check it out. You turned to Lin Mengyao and asked, Wifey, do you want some ice cream? Lin Mengyao looked at the ice cream in the shop, and her stomach rumbled uncontrollably. Her face turned red with embarrassment. Without another word, you took Lin Mengyao's hand and led her to the ice cream shop. You found an empty seat for her and went to stand in line. Wifey, you sit down first. I'll go get it. What flavor do you want? Lin Mengyao gently shook your hand and said with a smile, I want strawberry flavor. You've worked hard, hubby. Seeing this, you gently kissed the back of her hand and went to wait in line. Lin Mengyao quickly pulled her hand back, her face flushing. How can this person be so shameless? He just kisses me in public. At least it wasn't on another part. Seeing that the line was still very long, Lin Mengyao picked up her phone and started scrolling through videos. Just then, her best friend, Liu Yuxin, sent her a message. My dear Yao Yao, where are you now? I'm coming to see you. Lin Mengyao didn't know how to respond and could only reply truthfully, I brought my husband home to see my mom. Liu Yuxin replied with a disgusted emoji. Oh my god, you're already calling him hubby. You're not even married yet. So Auntie agreed? And she didn't break his third leg? Lin Mengyao thought about what third leg meant, and her face, which had just recovered, turned red again. Senshin, don't say such embarrassing things. My mom has already agreed. Liu Yuxin replied with a classic auntie-like expression. Girls grow up to be useless. You're just giving yourself away. All right, you two go have fun. I'm not eating this dog food anymore. Just as she finished chatting with Liu Yuxin, a guy sat down across from Lin Mengyao. This guy was quite handsome, but he immediately started hitting on Lin Mengyao. Hello, beautiful. Can I have your contact info? Lin Mengyao glanced at him and then looked down, politely saying, Sorry, I have a husband. However, the guy saw that Lin Mengyao looked like a student and guessed that she was just making up having a husband, so he continued to pester her for her contact info. When Lin Mengyao saw that he was still persistent, she said with a cold look, "Please stop bothering me. I told you I have a—" Before she could finish, a familiar voice cut her off. "Didn't she say she has a husband? I'm him." You glared at the man hitting on your wife with a fierce look. Seeing this, Lin Mengyao immediately took your hand and hid behind you. The guy looked at you, who were taller and more handsome than him, and knew he couldn't compete, so he left dejectedly. "Wifey, next time someone hits on you, just call me and I'll be right there," you said with a smile, handing her the large strawberry sundae. Then you two held hands and continued to stroll along the river. Looking at the large strawberry sundae, Lin Mengyao seemed to have a thought. After some deliberation, she took out her phone, took a picture, and sent it to her best friend, Liu Yuxin, with the caption, "Yummy." Liu Yuxin was full of questions when she saw it, and couldn't help but say, "Yao Yao, please be a person." Lin Mengyao tidied her hair, a faint smile on her face, and thought to herself, "Well, you've been feeding me dog food before too." After a while, Lin Mengyao looked at the half-eaten strawberry sundae and said to you, "I can't finish it." You lovingly stroked her head and said, "Give it to your hubby, I'll finish it." Seeing this, Lin Mengyao suddenly realized why you had only bought one. Her face turned slightly red. After you took the sundae, you started eating it with big bites and finished it in no time. You didn't forget to add, "This strawberry sundae is so sweet." Upon hearing this, Lin Mengyao's face turned even redder, and she said softly, Stop talking, hubby." Then you teased Lin Mengyao for a while, and soon she felt a little tired and pulled you to go home. Just as you two were about to leave, Lin Mengyao suddenly noticed an old man selling candied hawthorn by the roadside. Lin Mengyao said excitedly, "Let's go buy a skewer of candied hawthorn from him." Lin Mengyao was as happy and excited as a child. After buying it, you two continued on your way back. Along the way, Lin Mengyao ate the candied hawthorn and swung your hand up and down, just like when she was a child. You watched your wife happily eating, and you felt happy too. When there was only one candied hawthorn left, Lin Mengyao suddenly turned to you and asked, "There's only one left. Are you sure you don't want to eat it?" Seeing her adorable eyes, you blinked lightly and firmly replied, "No." After saying that, you kept staring at Lin Mengyao's tempting cherry lips. Lin Mengyao felt that you had some bad intentions, but being naive, she couldn't figure out what. "If you don't want it, then I will." Then she put the last candied hawthorn into her mouth. After eating for a while, her cheeks were about to start moving, but just then, you suddenly said with a smile, "Wifey, I want to eat candied hawthorn now." Lin Mengyao didn't realize what you meant and looked blankly at the skewer in her hand. She shook her head and said, "It's all gone." "Isn't there one left?" "Where is there one left?" "There's one in my mouth." Lin Mengyao suddenly realized what was happening and quickly reached out to cover her little mouth. She wanted to say something else, but you were one step ahead. One arm wrapped around her, pulling her into your embrace, and the other hand lifted her chin. You gently kissed her tempting pink lips. You gently pried open Lin Mengyao's small mouth, and with a light sweep of your tongue, you took the candied hawthorn from her mouth into yours. Before your lips parted, you deliberately sucked on them. This action made Lin Mengyao's face turn extremely red. Then she pushed you away with all her might and looked at you angrily. "Why did you steal my candied hawthorn?" Upon hearing this, you said shamelessly, "I like to eat sweet candied hawthorn." Lin Mengyao was so angry that she raised her hand and pinched your waist. One second you were smiling playfully, and the next you looked in agony. "Ouch! Stop pinching! I already have a bunch of marks on my waist." Lin Mengyao pouted and turned her face away, not letting you see. Seeing that this tactic wasn't working, you instantly felt that the candied hawthorn in your mouth wasn't sweet anymore. Oh no, is this girl really mad? After a while, Lin Mengyao turned her head and looked at you, who looked helpless. She gave a faint laugh. "Do you know to be scared now?" You quickly lowered your head and admitted your mistake. Yes, I'm scared, wifey." Seeing you look so frightened, Lin Mengyao finally nodded in satisfaction. Then she blinked her pure deer-like eyes and whispered, "Next time, don't suddenly, okay? You can kiss me at home." You readily agreed without any hesitation. Okay, wifey, it's better to have some than none. A little while later, you finally arrived back at the car. You buckled Lin Mengyao into the passenger seat and drove in the direction of home. In the car, Lin Mengyao looked at her little belly and asked you shyly, "Hubby, do you think our baby will be a boy or a girl?" You drove steadily and replied with a smile, "Could it be one of each?" Lin Mengyao raised her eyebrows beautifully and laughed happily. "How could we be that lucky to have twins right away?" Then she gently stroked her soft belly. "It's been almost 3 months. Baby, you have to grow up fast." You glanced over and saw your wife stroking her belly, and you felt a little jealous. "Wifey, I want to touch it too." Lin Mengyao's face turned red. "We can do it when we get home. You focus on driving and don't look around." Just as you arrived at the front door of your building, you saw someone standing there blankly, holding a flower in his hand. At this moment, you could clearly feel Lin Mengyao's hand tighten on yours. You looked at her in confusion. It turned out that the dazed person standing there was Lin Mengyao's high school class monitor, Li Ji. He had been pursuing her for a long time, and although he had been rejected many times, he was still persistent. When Li Ji saw you and Lin Mengyao getting out of the car holding hands, his fists tightened, but he still maintained a smile. "Mengyao, why didn't you tell me you were coming back? Here, these flowers are for you." With that, Li Jie handed the flowers to Lin Mengyao with a smile, completely ignoring your existence. When Lin Mengyao saw that it was Li Jie, she immediately looked impatient. "Li Jie, why are you at my doorstep? Please give the flowers to someone else, thank you." After saying that, Lin Mengyao was about to take your hand and go home, not wanting to stay for another second. Seeing this, Li Jie immediately panicked and reached out to stop Lin Mengyao. "Mengyao, can't you just give me one chance?" Lin Mengyao was completely enraged. With a cold and angry look, she stared at Li Jie and said, "I'll say it one more time. There is no possibility between us, and I already have a husband. Get out of the way." This was the first time you had seen Lin Mengyao so angry. Seeing that Li Jie was still persistent, you clenched your fists, reached out, grabbed Li Jie's arm, twisted it hard, and pinned him down. "She has made it very clear. If you dare to harass my wife again, I won't be so polite next time." Then you gave Li Jie a hard kick in the butt. Li Jie fell face first, then scrambled to his feet awkwardly and limped away. After washing up and returning to the room, you lay on the bed and stared at Lin Mengyao, lost in thought. Soon, Lin Mengyao noticed something was off. She put down her phone, turned around, and hugged you. "Hubby, what are you thinking about?" Coming back to your senses, you wrapped your arms tightly around Lin Mengyao and said gently, "I'm thinking about how popular my wife is. In just one day, 3 people tried to steal her from me. It makes me angry just thinking about it." Lin Mengyao felt a little helpless but was very happy. "Is that why? I can't help it if they just come up to me." Seeing that Lin Mengyao's pink lips were only a foot away from yours, you smiled, lowered your head, and pressed your forehead against hers. "Then, I'll have to keep a close eye on you from now on." The words had barely left your lips when you kissed her pink lips. Lin Mengyao's guard was quickly breached, and the kiss instantly came with a strong sense of possessiveness. Lin Mengyao just let you take what you wanted, her eyes full of affection, her cheeks flushed and her chest heaving. You don't know how long it was before you felt Lin Mengyao couldn't take it anymore, so you slowly let go. "Wifey, why don't you breathe?" Lin Mengyao came back to her senses and said in a shy and annoyed way, "It's because you're like a hungry wolf and you kissed me for so long." After saying that, she quickly covered her oxygen-deprived and flushed face and turned away, not wanting to look at you. Seeing your wife shy again, you didn't tease her anymore. You hugged her from behind and whispered softly, "Good girl, it's getting late. It's time to sleep." Lin Mengyao couldn't resist your puppy dog attack. She turned around, snuggled into your arms, and rubbed against you twice before finally falling asleep contentedly. After a few more sweet days at your mother-in-law's house, you two were ready to go back. Before you left, Lin Mu smiled with relief and handed the household registration book to Lin Mengyao. "Yao Yao, hold on to this. Remember to come back often." Lin Mengyao instantly understood what she meant. Her little face turned red as she said softly, "Okay, Mom, we'll definitely come back often." Then you helped Lin Mengyao get settled in the back seat, and slowly drove away in the Maybach. 4 hours later, you finally arrived in Jinhai. You drove steadily into the parking lot of the Jinwan mansion. After parking the car safely, you went to the back seat and looked at Lin Mengyao, who was sleeping peacefully. You couldn't bear to disturb her, so you gently picked her up and walked slowly toward the elevator. However, before you got into the elevator, the beauty in your arms woke up. Your eyes met, and Lin Mengyao stared at you blankly. Realizing her situation, Lin Mengyao's face instantly turned red. "Quick, put me down! It's not good if someone sees us." You had just said that there was no one here when the elevator door opened, and an old woman walked in. The old woman couldn't hide the smile on her face when she saw you two. At this moment, Lin Mengyao was so embarrassed that she buried her head in your chest and used her small hands to pull her hair down to cover her flushed face. You finally made it to the 16th floor. The elevator felt especially slow today. After getting out of the elevator, Lin Mengyao quickly struggled to get down. Then she angrily and gently punched your chest. She didn't dare to use too much force, as she would feel bad if she hurt you. In the past few days, Lin Mengyao had been busy preparing for her graduation defense from morning to night, while you were just messing around. In the evening, you were enjoying a movie when Lin Mengyao walked out of the room, hugged you, and rested her chin on your shoulder. She asked curiously, "Hubby, don't you have to prepare for your graduation defense?" You looked at the cute girl in your arms and couldn't help but gently kiss her pink lips. Your hubby is not that talented. Because I was so good, I was exempted from the graduation defense and got to graduate directly. Upon hearing this, Lin Mengyao puffed out her cheeks and didn't want to say anything. She suddenly felt so useless. When you saw that the little girl was a bit self-conscious, you couldn't help but laugh out loud. "Don't you know that your hubby is very outstanding?" Lin Mengyao wrapped her small arms around your neck and gently bit your face. Okay, hubby, you're the best." After saying that, she quickly pulled away and ran back to the room, afraid that you would educate her with a stick if you caught her. A few days later, Lin Mengyao's graduation defense was finally ready. That afternoon, you drove her to school. Actually, with Lin Mengyao's diligent study during her 4 years of university, she had no pressure to deal with this graduation defense. When you arrived at the classroom door, Lin Mengyao hesitated to go in. You could tell she was still nervous. You comforted her. "It's all right, wifey. If you can't pass, then no one can." Lin Mengyao didn't answer. Her mind was racing. Then she looked at you with a flushed face. "If you give me a kiss, I won't be nervous." You were stunned. "My wife is so proactive today." Then you hugged Lin Mengyao, gently kissed her forehead, and said, "Go on." Lin Mengyao had just entered the classroom, and 150 seconds later, you followed her in, completely forgetting your promise to wait outside the door. Then you put on a hat you had prepared beforehand and sat in the last row. If you didn't look carefully, you would be hard to spot. You saw Lin Mengyao in the front taking deep breaths to calm herself down. You picked up your phone and took a bunch of pictures, knowing that you wouldn't get another chance like this. After an unknown amount of time, Lin Mengyao finally walked onto the stage. Unlike her usual gentle demeanor, Lin Mengyao was very confident on the stage. She spoke fluently and clearly, and a confident smile radiated from her beautiful face. In the end, she successfully won high praise from the professors. Seeing this, you quickly took out your phone and took more pictures. Just then, you heard people around you talking. "I heard that the campus belle has a boyfriend." "Oh my God, what a bastard stole our campus belle." Upon hearing this, you couldn't help but get a headache. It's so hard to be in a relationship when people are gossiping about you behind your back. At this moment, Lin Mengyao had finished her graduation defense and went back to her seat to pack up her things. When you saw your wife getting ready to come out, you quickly slipped away. After leaving the classroom, you pretended to be engrossed in your phone and stood at the door, waiting for Lin Mengyao. Your handsome figure stood as tall and straight as a pine tree, and your handsome face with a faint smile attracted the attention of the girls around you. You had not even been standing there for a minute when a girl, ready to take a shot, came up to you to add you on WeChat. "Hello, classmate, can I get your contact info?" You were about to refuse when a figure suddenly rushed out and wrapped her arm around yours. "Sorry, classmate, he already has a girlfriend." When the girl saw that it was Lin Mengyao, She was crestfallen and scurried away. Seeing this, you asked her in a feigned, concerned tone, "Did your graduation defense go well?" You wanted to change the subject about the girl. However, Lin Mengyao's little face drooped, and she was full of unhappiness. "It didn't go well. I came out and saw you with another girl." "Wifey, you're wrong. I just got to the classroom door," you quickly complained. But Lin Mengyao still pouted, unwilling to believe your nonsense. Then you seemed to think of something and said seriously, "I have a way to prove my innocence." "What way?" Lin Mengyao asked with curiosity. She knew you were innocent, of course. You then took out your phone and showed her the pictures you secretly took of her in the classroom. You were secretly taking pictures again. Lin Mengyao was a little annoyed and reached out her little hand to pinch your waist. But this time you didn't resist. You just held her and let her pinch, thinking that you had thick skin anyway. Quote, You have to send me the pictures." Lin Mengyao said softly, her face flushed, and she looked up at you with a blank expression. "Okay." You immediately sent the pictures to Lin Mengyao and also posted them in the family group chat. The group chat immediately exploded, and everyone looked at the pictures in disbelief, except for your parents. Then you didn't look at your phone anymore and took Lin Mengyao to the cafeteria to eat. After arriving at the cafeteria, Lin Mengyao pulled you to a counter to order. "This is delicious. I used to come here all the time when I was alone," Lin Mengyao said, and then she put half of a braised fish and a fried chicken leg into your bowl. "No wonder I never saw you in college," you mumbled to yourself. "Because you always went to Zhu Yuan to eat, but I saw you," Lin Mengyao said in a low voice, her face slightly flushed. "Wifey, what did you say?" You were a little surprised and quickly turned to look at Lin Mengyao. Since more and more people were coming into the cafeteria, Lin Mengyao's voice was very soft. Nothing, here, have a bite." Then she picked up a shrimp and put it to your mouth. You took it in one bite. You then gave Lin Mengyao a piece of braised pork. Lin Mengyao took a small bite. Just as she bit off half of it, you took the rest back with your chopsticks and put it into your mouth. While you two were feeding each other, many students from a distance were watching, and some were even taking pictures. Soon, a picture of you two feeding each other appeared on the Jinhai University campus news with the title, "Shocking! The campus belle of Jinhai University is having dinner with her boyfriend in the cafeteria." At this moment, you felt a chill down your spine. You turned your head and saw countless hostile looks directed at you. Your phone rang. It was your roommate who sent you a link to the post about you and Lin Mengyao on the campus news. You felt speechless. Lin Mengyao saw that you were ignoring her and looking at your phone. She complained, "Hubby, what are you looking at? You're ignoring me." You helplessly handed your phone to Lin Mengyao to show her. "I have become the enemy of all the boys at Jinhai University." Lin Mengyao also blinked blankly, and then she covered her mouth and burst out laughing. "Well, I can't help you with that. You're on your own." After dinner, you two walked hand in hand on campus. You looked worried, afraid that someone would knock you out from behind with a hammer. You had a lot of faith in Lin Mengyao's charm and were only worried about a few people who might go crazy from the stimulation. When Mengyao saw your nervous look, she kept laughing to herself. "Hubby, do you want me to help you?" You looked at Lin Mengyao with anticipation. "How?" Then Lin Mengyao showed a rare, mischievous smile and stared at you lustfully. "Call me Gigi, and I'll help you." No, this was the first time you had seen Lin Mengyao like this. Your little face turned red. "That's too embarrassing." Lin Mengyao pouted and said coquettishly, "I'm older than you, so what's wrong with calling me Gigi? Just call me that." You still didn't move. Lin Mengyao stepped up her game and looked at you with anticipation. "Call me Gigi, and I'll give you a reward." Before you could say anything, Lin Mengyao walked up to you and hugged you. She looked up and smiled slightly. "If you don't call me that, I'll just hug you and not let go." You turned your red face away and whispered, "Chicho, hey, little brother, you're a good boy." You were usually the one who made her shy, but today she won a round, and she was so happy. Then you two continued to stroll around the campus, but the hostile looks around you seemed to get even worse. You felt a little uneasy and quickly asked, "Wifey, didn't you say you were going to help me?" Lin Mengyao pursed her lips and said with a smile, "I'm panicking now. Look at the campus news again." Then you took out your phone and opened the campus news. You immediately saw a pinned comment. You looked at the profile picture and saw that it was Lin Mengyao who had posted, "That's not my boyfriend, that's my husband." After that, you closed your phone and your heart turned cold. Wifey! When you looked up, you saw that Lin Mengyao had already secretly walked ahead. Wifey, you're trying to run away? With that, you started to run after her. Don't come near me! Ha ha ha! One person was running in front and the other was chasing from behind. However, because Lin Mengyao was pregnant, she didn't run fast, so you easily caught up to her. You hugged her gently and said, "Don't run around, be careful, the baby might get carsick." The next day, after Lin Mengyao woke up, she greeted you and left. She drove her Xiaomi SU7 to a jewelry store. Since you were too attractive to others, she had to find something to prove that you were taken, so she wanted to buy a men's ring. Lin Mengyao looked left and right and finally found a very nice ring. She asked about the price, and it was 18,000. She gritted her teeth, hesitated for a moment, and then paid for it. After returning home, Lin Mengyao found you watching a movie in the living room. You were about to say, "Wifey, you're back." But Lin Mengyao quickly ran past you and scurried back to the room, afraid that you would find out. After hiding the ring in the room, Lin Mengyao took a deep breath, patted her little face, and then walked out of the room. "Hubby, I'm back." What were you hiding in such a hurry? You pulled Lin Mengyao into your arms. And nothing. Lin Mengyao's pupils constricted, and there was an obvious look of nervousness in her eyes. Nothing? You showed your signature mischievous smile and stared at Lin Mengyao, wanting her to confess. Lin Mengyao blinked her elegant eyes and said, "That's a girl's secret. You're not allowed to know." "All right then." You couldn't do anything since your wife refused to say, so you just held her and watched the movie together in the living room. The next morning, you woke up early and went to a meeting with your roommate to talk about the store. When you walked out of the cafe to leave, a familiar figure appeared in front of you. It was your ex-girlfriend, Yi Zixuan. Yi Zixuan was in the same year as you. She started pursuing you in your first year because you were handsome. You dated for less than half a year before you couldn't stand her vanity and broke up with her. At this moment, Yi Zixuan had an outstanding appearance. She wore a white shirt with a black skirt, which made her look especially enchanting. You were a little stunned that you would meet her here. Yi Zixuan also saw you, and a hint of arrogance flashed in her eyes. You didn't feel anything for Yi Zixuan, so you just glanced at her and wanted to leave. But Yi Zixuan stopped you. "What a coincidence, Zhang Che. How have you been?" You were a little speechless and replied perfunctorily, "Yes, it is a coincidence. It has nothing to do with you, Yi Tongshu. Is that how you treat your first love?" With that, she started to show off how rich her current boyfriend was. But you just replied coldly, "Congratulations to you then." Then you left without looking back in your Maybach. Yasquan was bewildered. She then thought that you must have rented the car and looked down on you even more. He's just showing off. You soon returned to the Jinwan mansion. As soon as you opened the door, a figure rushed into your arms. "Hubby, welcome home." You stroked Lin Mengyao's little head. "Lazy cat, why did you wake up so early today?" Lin Mengyao pouted cutely. "I missed you. You were gone as soon as I opened my eyes." Then you hugged Lin Mengyao and lay on the sofa to watch TV. After thinking it over, you decided to tell her about what happened this morning. You said with some trepidation, "Wifey, I met my ex-girlfriend when I came back this morning." Lin Mengyao's heart skipped a beat. She lowered her head and asked, "And then?" Her happy mood instantly fell. A pregnant woman's emotions are very volatile, and while she was overthinking, her eyes started to feel sore. You quickly noticed that something was wrong with Lin Mengyao. You gently hugged her tightly, lifted her little head, and pressed your forehead against hers. You could see that Lin Mengyao's eyes were already a little red. "Wifey, I'm sorry. I didn't say much to her this morning. I was very cold to her. I was young and ignorant in my first year, and when I found out she was vain, I broke up with her right away. Nothing really happened." Lin Mengyao turned her head away, not wanting to look at you. Although she knew you weren't that kind of person, she felt an inexplicable sadness in her heart. Then Lin Mengyao turned her head and looked at you again, whispering, "Then, did you two kiss?" You hugged her tighter and said gently, "No, my first kiss was for you." Lin Menyao's face turned a little red when she heard this. She buried her forehead in your chest and whispered, "Thank you for being honest with me. Actually, I've liked you since my first year, so I knew you had an ex. When did this happen? Why didn't I know? You were very surprised. So your wife had liked you for almost 4 years. Lin Mengyao continued to mumble in your arms, her voice weak. I used to secretly look at you from afar, so of course you, my silly hubby, didn't know. For some reason, you were a little touched. You immediately raised your hand to swear. Wifey, I swear that if I ever treat you or the babies badly, I'll be struck by lightning. But Lin Mengyao suddenly raised her head and used her tempting pink lips to stop you. She slowly tried to kiss you. After an unknown amount of time, your lips parted. Lin Mengyao was out of breath and was taking small breaths. No, you can't swear. I believe you. How could you not love a wife like this? You were touched and hugged Lin Mengyao tightly, continuing to kiss her sweetly.